Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. Let's go to our phones, talk to Duke Burden of Cactar. What's up, Duke?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, what's up?
Awesome. So I just wanted to go over a subject that has been gone over a ton of times on LBR.
Oh, good.
But I wanted to give you my perspective on how boring this game is.
Okay.
So I've been playing 14. Let's see. I started at 2.0. I quit at 3.1. And my girlfriend and I decided we wanted to resub, back in December. So we had a 2-year break from 3.1 to 4.1. And basically, after 3 months, we are dead fucking bored again.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate that the thing that kept me more busy than Stormblood was trying to collect all the mounts and triple triad cards from Heaven's Word. So,
but how could you be bored? Because they just added glow sticks with the event.
Yeah.
Did you get your glow sticks?
Why aren't you raving?
Come join us on our studio and rave with us.
I don't have an answer to that. So let's see. When I played 11, I played for 6 years, and I was basically addicted. I did Sky, Sea, all the Land Kings, and I quit before Abyssia because I understood that the game was too much for me to handle.
You were overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Because there was so much to do.
Yeah.
Anytime that I was not online, I literally had anxiety, feeling like I'm missing out on something.
Yeah, like that item's going to spawn, I'm not going to get my shit, or someone else is going to bid on something else.
And the thing is that I mean, is it impossible to build a world that can sustain both of those things?
Yeah, there needs to be a happy medium,
right? Like,
because 11 was very overwhelming, and I don't think we need to go back to the level where you're literally anxiety ridden because you're not on.
Whoa, hold on. So you're saying you don't want this game to be like FF11?
No, I thought we all wanted it to be 11.
I want it to be a little bit more like 11, but not completely 11.
See, I do think that there's got to be a way to kind of to find, as you guys were saying, that happy medium. And the thing is that, you know, like, reward structure plays into this. It's when we talk about reward structure, I think people think that we get very hung up on this, but the risk reward factor is something that is inherent to all games, right? It's at the core of every game, not just video games, but every game that you play, whether it's a board game or any kind of game that has rules. There's a risk reward mechanic in there. And if you don't have that figured out, then it's impossible to properly incentivize participation in any type of content. And so, Square Enix, the two biggest problems that I think that we've identified with FF14 is the repetition of content and the reward structure. And it feels like they could find a happy medium if they applied a bit more traditional game structure to FF14 and got rid of the idea that the game is supposed to be a constant treadmill.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that. When I started in 2.0, I cleared the coils of Bahamut while they were relevant, and you know, it was fun because it was it was 2.0. It was, the game had just got relaunched. It was a rehashing of 1.0 and all that. And as soon as 3.1 hit, I had this sick feeling like, holy shit, everything is literally the same.
It's going to be the exact same shit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, every odd number patch is a catch up. Every even number patch is the eye level increase. And I was completely just disheartened, and I quit. I decided to just say, fuck it, I'm out. And
I think part of the problem, especially in those initial patches and expansions, is that Square Enix lags behind on the new content that they promise, right? Like, Diadem didn't end up coming out till what, 3.2? Was it 3.2 or 3.1? Because it got delayed. It was supposed to be there at launch.
3.3.
That late? Because you had Diadem 2.0 too, you know what I mean? Like, since you had Diadem 2 in there as well, I feel like There was some time in between that, and then you also had Palace of the Dead. Those were the two new features that we had gotten in Heavensward, was Palace of the Dead and Diadem. And you didn't get them right out of the gate.
You're right, I was wrong. 3.1.
Okay, 3.1, right. So you didn't get them right out of the gate at the expansion, so anyone who's been playing up till now, like, they get the new expansion and you're just like, oh, there's new areas, there's some new enemies, okay, there's a new job, all right, there's a couple new jobs. I
fight a dinosaur.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like, to actually experience a different type of gameplay took an entire fucking patch.
Yeah.
And then when we got it, we didn't like it. DNM was fucking terrible. So it took actually until when did Palace of the Dead?
It says
Palace of the Dead. It took until Palace of the Dead for a piece of content introduced inside of Heavensward was accepted by the fucking community.
3.35.
Jesus.
Right, and then it took them until 3.5 to take down Diadem and relaunch it in 3.55B. So like that many patches went by, like 4 patches before they're like, oh, this sucks.
Before they took it down and tried again.
Oh my God. Isn't that kind of unacceptable? Like, for an MMO, right? Like, for an MMO, you want the expansion that, you know, you just put out. You would want that to contain something new, wouldn't you?
And exciting.
Yeah, not just new.
To hopefully carry forward as well.
Yeah. I mean, because anyone who had been playing previously, you're right, dude. You got this kind of sinking feeling like, oh, this is exactly the same shit. There's nothing in here. It
kind of blew my mind that 2 years had gone by and I ate that content in 3 months. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, because once everyone's kind of caught up and keeping up on it, then the catch-up patches make no fucking sense. They make sense for newer players.
I feel like there should be like 2 catch-up patches like every expansion. Not every other patch is a catch-up cycle.
I agree with that. I mean, yeah. I think that there needs to be a more of a gap.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think the last patch before an expansion should be catch-up. The rest of them, no way.
The end of the expansion should be your catch-up, preparing you for the next expansion. That way, anyone who comes to play, they actually get to play the full expansion, not just the last fucking patch.
I think I
agree with that.
I think I've started to first realize that this shit was really starting to go downhill when they eased the requirements for Steps of Faith. That
was kind of when it started, wasn't it?
Yeah, that blew my fucking mind.
That was the big reckoning, because it was off of the aftermath of that we started hearing of the rumors that we would be getting the
jump potion.
No.
The story mode.
The story mode.
Story mode.
Yep.
Story mode first. Yeah. I mean, again, it's not. This isn't just easing of requirements. This is just like straight up giving people fucking fast forward buttons.
Hand holding.
Yeah.
How long was Steps of Faith out before they nerfed it? Like a week?
No, it was a little bit longer than that.
Are you sure?
It was. I want to say maybe either to that 0.5 patch or till the next patch. But it was somewhere. It was not,
because it was long enough. It was long enough that a bunch of people had obviously cleared it, but it was long enough for them to notice the pattern of, as people who have cleared it are getting it, they're completely disbanding because they don't even want to deal with it.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably an apt observation, that because they were trying to alleviate people getting thrown in there. What was it, on a roulette and disbanding?
Yeah, it was. They were getting thrown in there for the trial roulette and then just leaving.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was nerfed in 2.57.
So, I mean, I think that
2.57, that was a thing?
Yeah.
Probably just specifically for that one nerf, yeah.
Yeah, because it says it came out in 2.5. So how long was it between 2.5 and 2.57?
Probably. I mean, Evil Hippie said 3 weeks in the chat. I mean, maybe. It may have been that short. But that's really where I started to notice it. Because the easier way to solve that problem would have been to take it out of the roulette. Not nerf the fucking account.
But the thing is that people were having a hard time finding people to do it because it was hard, and so taking out of the roulette would make those people never clear it.
That's true.
That's why they put it in the roulette in the first place. But
or put it in main scenario.
Yeah, there's a lot more that should be in main scenario than are.
Yeah, why not put it in main scenario?
I know I bitched about this before, but currently the only things in main scenario are 8-man dungeons, and you realize since those two, we've never had an 8-man dungeon again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really fun.
That's an 8-man encounter. Throw it in fucking main. That's how they could have solved this. That's legitimately how they could have solved this.
Although, no, because see, they were forward thinking because they knew that nobody would do main scenario after this latest patch where they forced cutscenes. So, no, they knew they couldn't use it because nobody goes in main scenario anymore. No, see, they're forward thinking.
That far ahead, 2 expansions later.
Yes, Nico. Also, 2.55 came out March 31st. 2.57 came out May 12th.
Okay, so there was a little bit of time.
It was like a week, or excuse me, a month and a week.
Yeah.
So like 5 weeks-ish.
Yeah.
Well, it came out at 2.5, not 2.55. So...
Steps of Faith.
Was it 2.55 or 2.5?
No, 2.5.
Oh,
well, because there were two, they had split the end story in half, for heaven's word.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Steps of Faith on Console Games Wiki, and it says 2.5 is when it dropped.
Okay. All right, I'll believe you.
And 2.55 was just the story where everybody died and then didn't actually die.
And then 2.57, they nerfed it.
Okay, and that was January 20th was 2.5.
So there was like an entire...
It was like 5 months. That was a long time.
That doesn't feel like it was that long.
Yeah. It really doesn't.
That was Salted Earth was the episode, and people still refer to that episode as like when they started. Like that is like I feel like a defining point
before Salted Earth and after Salted.
Yeah, in the Limit Break mythos, like Salted Earth is where so many people have their
Salted Earth Flashpoint.
Well, but the thing is though is that that's where we had started talking about Get Good.
Really drew a line in the sand.
Right. Like and really that should have been Square Enix's line in the sand because people were having like people weren't queuing for it, but it's because it was tedious and long. You know what I mean? It's what it asked of you as a player was actually not that fucking much.
Not at all.
Not that fucking much. So the notion, and again, like, dude, if you were having problems getting people to queue for it, like all that would have required was like a patch or two so that people started increasing their eye level beyond it, and then it would have just been like it is Face now. It would like you queue in if you get queued into Steps of Faith now. You know what I mean? It takes like 5 steps and the thing is dead.
You can kill it without using any of the mechanics, and if you do, you kill it by like the second gate or whatever.
Yeah. So what it asked of the players was not all that much. And what we had been saying by Get Good was like, listen, if this is the bare minimum that Square Enix expects of you, quit going to the fucking forums and complaining about it. Oh, well, and how can you sit there with a 1900 DPS on your tank and say that? Because Square Enix has clearly signaled that they don't give a shit about testing their community. They don't really care. They will acquiesce to the weakest of their community if they bitch enough.
So why would we not be the weakest of the community?
Why?
What incentive do we have?
Why test yourself against a system that doesn't reward you for testing yourself? What, you just want to prove that you have a big dick? I can just look inside my drawers. I don't need a video game to tell me that to validate my fucking existence. I don't need to try that hard at anything. There's only one thing that I care about that much.
Oh, I care about you too.
In this world, and that's broadcasting. That's making radio. That's making fucking shows.
I like broadcasting.
That's what I care about being good at. Right?
And you are, by the way.
But if that was but again, this was MSQ content. If the expectation is from the developer, you have to be this good in order to advance, quit fucking bitching and just fucking do it. That was our whole point. Now that Square Enix has basically said, yeah, there's no purpose in improving your skill at this game because clearly nothing means anything, then why bother? Why fucking bother? Anyway, Duke, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. If you want to give us a call, Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. If there was a reason